it's
I know
it's a
with
year.
all the other 20 things coming out.
Yeah, because you've got Batman versus Superman in 2016, and then in 2017 you've got Suicide Squad. So
All right, well, that makes
it's
sense.
basically gonna be something every year. Yeah. So it could work out good.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna go back and then you're gonna go back into like Wonder Woman and all that stuff. Too,
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens with Suicide Squad. We're definitely gonna keep our eyes on that.
I'm interested in this DC universe. I think things are really coming about now.
Yeah, between that and Marvel, it's just like a war to see who can shine each other, out schedule each other, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
I actually started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Really?
I had started it and then I stopped and then I just started actually last night. I was like, because I think my dad was watching it or something like that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and start it over. I watched the first 3 episodes last night. Everybody hated on it, but I actually thought it was pretty good, man.
It's not as bad as we make it out to be as Webb.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. If Webb was sitting here, I'd be like, man, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, he shit on it pretty hard.
I guess it was just because we had such high hopes because it was like coming right off Avengers, everything. Was like, woohoo, and then like it was like, okay, they're making a show, so we're gonna get to watch basically. Everybody was thinking we're gonna get to watch the Avengers every week.
Right. Yeah, it's nothing like that,
no,
but
not at all.
It's pretty good. I was scared it was gonna get canceled because I stopped watching it because my DVR got filled up.
Yeah.
And I was scared it was gonna get canceled. I thought, oh, for sure, the way people were talking about it. But then I watched it and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I heard it's getting better, so yeah, I'm gonna continue with that.
And see, that's where I'm at. And that's another thing. It's a good segue into like talking about canceled, which I guess is kind of a negative thing, but
it is.
But if you guys haven't watched Constantine, have you guys watched?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I wanted to. After you talked about it last time.
Okay,
I
yeah.
I didn't want it to get canceled.
I was about to say, damn.
No.
Yeah, man.
Let it burn.
It's not canceled. But the only thing that sucks is like if you know anything about like TV shows, like new TV shows, normally what happens is they get a 13 episode initial order. Then after that, normally they're like, it's got a full season order, so it goes usually like 22 episodes. When it does that, normally like around this time, depending on when the show premiered, obviously, this is usually when the studio has canceled X, Y, and Z, and this show has gotten a full season order.
Yeah.
This didn't happen with Constantine. Constantine got its normal 13 episodes. That's all they're doing right now. They're not going to do a full season order, but they've already announced all the shows that they're canceling. It's not on there. So they're potentially like, hey, we're going to give it a little bit more chance. It must be doing okay.
Yeah.
Because they didn't just flat out go, fuck it, scrap it. Yeah. But the other thing leading in off of that is Del Toro actually turned in his script for the Dark Justice League. Which, what I'm hoping will happen, if you don't know what the Dark Justice League is, that's basically the completely bizarre, off-the-wall, scary version of the Justice League. That has Deadman, Swamp Thing. Constantine is basically the leader. He's Captain America. I'm sorry. I don't know if you're thinking, whatever. Depending on who you're thinking about. He's like Superman, basically.
Okay.
He's in that role. And then you have, you've got like this whole cast of these bizarre heroes.
Right.
Pretty much. So what I'm hoping happens is hopefully the studio likes Del Toro's script. The show does not get canceled, and they basically use that as kind of even if like Netflix picks it up or something like that, where they do like, it might just do these first 13 episodes, we might see it go away for a while.
Right.
And then they use that to like, okay, we're going to release like a full season on Netflix or something like that, and then the movie will come out. The Dark Justice League movie. So like that second season of Constantine will build into the movie. Hopefully to God that's what happens, because like I've told y'all a bunch of times, Constantine's one of my favorite.
Man, it really is.
Heroes, and I love that show's good.
I think it's fantastic. I've watched every episode, and it's great.
Yeah, he's a really good play on Constantine. A lot less, I don't know, dry and kind of like that Keanu kind of
Keanu. Even though I liked it, I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought Keanu was
great.
But
it's a totally different performance.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah. This guy's more TV.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
definitely. Yeah,
Keanu's not a TV person. He's got that. Yeah, it's just not. You can't sit there and watch Keanu 30 minutes every week because you're going to get pretty much kind of the same thing. Unfortunately, not saying anything bad. That's his thing. You know what I mean? Which is cool. But this guy, he's electric. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is. He definitely and he can pull off the comedy side of it, and it works out good. I think it makes perfect sense.
Show's funny, man. It's funny. It's scary as shit.
Yeah, it's creepy.
I'm not gonna lie. It's creepy, man.
Creepy.
You want that shit in the dark?
Right.
It's crazy, man.
It is.
Especially if you're a religious person.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
All that crazy shit.
Yes, I do have to watch it.
Dude, yeah,
Can't keep giving you shit about Doctor Who, and then I guess I should.
Yeah. See, now I got ammo to fire back at you.
Yeah.
Doctor Who is still up here.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, we know Doctor Who's whatever.
Maybe one day we'll talk about it when Carrie watches it.
Whatever. Shit. I will.
Yeah, but didn't you watch Doctor Who? I thought you were.
Yeah,
watching
I watched,
it.
but I haven't watched none of the new season.
Oh, see, I haven't.
He's blazed through the new
It's a shame.
season. I haven't watched it. Yeah.
I haven't caught up. I haven't caught up with it.
Whatever. I know I need to watch it.
Just move on before this gets worse.
Right, yeah, exactly. It just builds up. But so obviously one of the big things leading off that Constantine, we know there's some couple of music things. We'll probably just make those announcements.
Oh yeah. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. There's some crazy stuff out there.
I keep looking at my battery because I keep worrying that the battery's gonna die. It jumped down like 2 bars. I wonder how long it'll last on 1 bar.
I think we'll be okay.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
All right, I got batteries on standby just in case. Where's my battery? Y'all gonna see all this. I don't care if y'all see all this. Y'all can see the behind the scenes stuff. Freak all my batteries.
This is the behind the scenes.
Anyways, yeah, batteries, whatever. But okay. So leading off that, good segue. Nice place to cut.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Star Wars. This is right here. He puts down his phone. This is one of the main reasons.
This is serious.
I wanted Clay to come back. I wanted Gwendar to come back on, and then I wanted to have him back on, and that he wanted to come back on. Is if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check out the Star Wars Force Awakens teaser trailer. It's pretty damn awesome.
Oh, they've seen
for
it.
just like a minute. Yeah, you guys seen it.
Even like 4-year-olds have seen this.
Right? Yeah. They're showing it at birthday parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting straight into it from start to finish. Now I might actually put up clips of it, like in the background, and do like some picture-in-picture shit. That way, people, if you haven't seen it, you can see it. If you that way, whatever. But that shit was crazy. First off, as far as like my points, so we'll kind of like go through our thoughts between each other, like on it. But first off, I like one that it looks super clean, but not in the same way. Now this is coming from my filmmaker side of shit. It looks super clean, but not in the same way that the CGI ass prequels looked. Where like you could tell everything was like super glossy and shiny because everything was green screen rendered. They were on a stage. That makes sense. Cool. Like these look like they were shot on location, but they look like they were shot. They were beautifully shot with like the right camera, etc. The other thing is it's still on the other side of that because they actually used a lot of practical effects, aka they actually use shit that you can put your hand on, not something that had to be computer generated. You can tell that there's a little bit more grime and grit to it. You can like when they actually do the practical effects, you can tell that like it was actually happening while the actors were there. One of my favorite parts of the trailer is if you've seen it and when you see it, the stormtroopers are all like packed in on this drop ship that like it's dark as shit on the drop ship. Any other shot, like this same shot in the prequels would have been, doors would have been open, the sun would have been shining in, you would have seen multicolored lasers flying around. Yeah, cool, whatever. But this was like a dark shot. It was like half-ass lit. And these stormtroopers like looks like the ship looks like it's about to fall apart because there's sparks and crap going around them. You see this nice close-up of the new blaster rifles. And then you see kind of like this, like everybody on the ship, even though they're stormtroopers and you can't see their facial expression, they look like they're being dropped into some shit. Like basically, it has that kind of like almost like a Vietnam drop look to it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's exactly what I want to see. And then obviously in the trailer too, you get to see some of J.J. Abrams' classic shots. One of the biggest shots is when after it fades to black, you see this big ramp up shot of the Millennium Falcon doing like these crazy maneuvers, and you get like J.J. Abrams' classic like double tap zoom shot that he uses. You've seen it 1,000 times on the Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
He's used that same shot literally on.
And I was gonna say
on the Star Trek.
it looked a lot like Star Trek.
Like you can tell, and like a lot of people on the same token are kind of worried. They're like, I don't want you to make Star Wars Star Trek. But in my mind, the way I think about it is, I didn't like Star Trek at all. I never watched the episode of the show until I saw those movies. And I was like,
phenomenal.
Shit, this is awesome. Like this is Star Trek. Like this is my Star Trek. The show, I'm sorry, I never could get into it, but those movies are fucking awesome, and that gave me a lot of respect for J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And then obviously the final shot, one of the last shots, the end shots, is one of my favorites. Because when you get to finally see one of the Sith, the main Sith, we don't know exactly who it is, what character it is, but you get to see
There's always two.
Bust out his lightsaber like in this one of the most like Mortal Kombat-esque looking scenes I've seen.
Yeah.
It looks like he's about to fight Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
But like he jumps down and you just see him bust out his lightsaber, and it's a fucking Claymore lightsaber, and it's awesome. And people have been going batshit crazy, obviously, because the design doesn't make sense.
And I've had to defend it.
Yeah. And Clay has had to defend it. But just from my point of view, that was like the perfect like cherry on top of the whole trailer. Like seeing that, like hearing it and seeing it, because it was very different. Even though it looks like, if you just look at it, it's like, oh, it's just a lightsaber that's shaped different. It looks and sounds different because there's something systematically different with that fucking lightsaber. The plasma is unstable. The design is obviously something we haven't seen in the movies. Now we've seen it in the extended universe, but and the sound even sounded different. And I think it's because it looks like a lightsaber that was built by somebody in a fucking shop. Like it looks like it was used, like the crystal that they used was different. The plasma looks unstable. It sounds different. It just has a different feel to it, and it was like the perfect kind of like icing on the cake that this is something different, but this is something that you guys know and love.
Yeah.
And that was the perfect kind of like ending to me, but that's kind of like how I feel throughout. And then obviously there's the whole Black Stormtrooper thing, but I don't even think he's really a Stormtrooper in the movie. I think that was just like his cover. Like it looks like he's undercover, and it also looks like he's obviously what's the word for it? Not gifted, but when you're force sensitive, basically. Because it's kind of, you see like these shots and they look like they're out of order, but you see like the dropship shot, and then you see him, like the first shot you see is this Black Stormtrooper raise up, and he doesn't look like he's looking at something and it's scaring him. He looks like he feels something and it's scaring him. And I think that is going like kind of like out of order, kind of asymmetrical with the last shot we see, which is obviously a whole different time. But I think it has something to do with like the fact, I think that Stormtrooper, I think that guy, the actor from Attack the Block, I think his character in Star Wars is force sensitive in some way, shape, or form. Because that's what it looked like. He had this look on his face like, fuck, what was that? Like there's something out there that's disturbing the shit out of the force.
Yeah.
That's the look he had on his face. And obviously everybody went ape shit because he's black. But dude, goddamn, I'm gonna let Clay go in on that.
What's wrong with the Black Stormtrooper?
I'm gonna let Clay go in on this because he knows way more than me.
Okay.
Even if
the thing is everyone's freaking out about it from what I noticed because he's black. Stormtroopers aren't black, which
they're clones.
Clones.
Yeah, they're clones. They're all Django, which of course I have to get on Facebook and wherever I see this ignorant bullshit posted and fix it. By that time, of course, we're still assuming that the expanded universe that they've already discounted is not true anymore.
Right.
But we're just assuming that was still, a thing.
Yeah.
By that time, there were no clones left. If you played Battlefront 2, it goes through the 501st Legion, right?
Right, exactly.
Those are the only clones that are left. And even then, that basically, especially if you play through Battlefront, you'll pretty much learn just from that alone that the first time the Death Star got destroyed, the 501st Legion, which was pretty much, that wasn't all the clones that were left, but they were somewhere else.
Yeah,
I don't know where, I haven't played it in a long time, but they were somewhere else. Death Star gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're the only clones left now.
Right, yeah.
And there was just like a battalion pretty much. It wasn't like a ton of them.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, at that point, and even before that, the Empire pretty much said, like, we don't want to do this anymore with the clones. They're recruiting. That's...
Exactly.
So pretty much, especially by like episode 5, 6, they're the only clones that are left of the 501st, and there's, I don't know an exact number, but there's hardly any of them.
Yeah, it's not much.
Everyone else is recruited.
Yep.
That's why you see different heights. That's why you hear different voices.
Yep.
I mean, that's, it's hinted even in episode 4 that, they're recruiting.
Right.
Wedge says something about it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, bullshit. Not all stormtroopers are clone troopers.
Nope.
Very few of them are, especially 30 years after.
Yeah, we're
30
30
years
years.
after the
Yeah, if
fact.
you didn't know that, we're 30. Like with episode 7, we're 30 years.
We're in real time,
Yeah.
folks.